catching up and we are late, but again, we are going to have a good time. Yes, we say our highs and then we get to I want us to even share a bit of what you are going through right now. For those of you that are going through the videos, some of us that are already doing the radio shows and the TV shows and the pre-recorded, you can sometimes you go back to the resources and actually just refresh your memory. So I want you to be able to tell me, what are you going through, or what are you studying right now, or what video did you watch today? I want to know about that before we proceed, so that I know we are on the same page. And I know that I'm not leaving anyone behind. One thing that I'm really purposed to do, even when I have to sneak on here, Faida, great to have you. Nachimbogwe Patricia, great to have you. And I can't wait to listen to you tomorrow. Yes, I know that it's going to go great. And Marjorie Nantambi, great. Thanks for coming on. Today, I want us to share. Today, just leave me a statement. And Faida, I saw your post, and I just felt like your celebration for Valentine's was over the moon. I mean, I like people who go full blown and people who just, give themselves a reason to celebrate and just, give it their heart and their whole. And you're one kind of people. It seems to me you really celebrate life. And life is to be celebrated. I just love that bit about you, okay? Marjorie, okay, Naira Namudu, you are present. Thank you for joining in, guys. I am late, I know, and I just feel so horrible whenever we are not able to meet or right on time and to just have these chats. But if you are on here, I want you to tell me, what did you do today in order to push yourself ahead in this career, in this in this passion, in this purpose, and in impacting people? I want to hear from each one of you. What did you do today? Did you write a post? Did you post a post? Did you go to Canva and create a graphics? What did you do? Marjorie, you're saying editing and working on my book, Bounce Back. I can't wait. I think I should start. Guys, give me your hashtag so that I can be able to actually start pushing them so that people know exactly what it means. If I can say Bounce Back by Nantambi Marjorie, if I can say I Found Me by Philson, if I can say I need to have those. JM Kakembo, I know that you sent your book cover. I don't know how far you've gone with that. You got some feedback from the platform, but I want to hear from you, JM Kakembo, and just to know how far did you go with it, because we don't want to leave anyone behind, okay? Christine, good to have you, and can't wait to listen to you tomorrow morning on Bob FM. Yes, and I know that we're going to have such a great time, okay? And I need to know, Marjorie, you said you were working on your book. So for the other coaches, what did you do today that pushes you ahead? Yes, Ruth Namudu, good to have you. You're present, and Henry, thank you so much for joining in. Yes, I can see the class is getting full. So I want to know, what did you do today apart from Henry, who was sleeping the whole day because he's not feeling well? But even when I am home and sick, I am always doing something. That's why actually my husband has a way of hiding my phone, because he knows the moment he leaves me with a phone, he will find me. By the time he gets back or he comes back into the room, I will have written maybe a half a chapter of a book, or researched on something, or just written a huge post or a blog post. And so he's like, "You're always doing something. Can't you just be there doing nothing? Relax." Like today when we came back, he was telling me, "You're tired," and I was like, "Yes, I am tired. But if I am teaching about commitment, if I am mentoring people that are going to carry the banner into the next generations, then I'm better off mentoring people by being exemplary. That even when I am late, I do not just throw in a towel and say I am late so that class is not going to happen. I would rather say, you know what, let's meet for a short time, but I I know I have fulfilled. There is power in fulfilling what you have promised yourself. There is power in commitment. There is power in fulfilling or keeping the promise. Okay, so I want you to be able to look at that. Many thanks, Coach. Kind regards, both. I have 12 babies. Blessings to you. Wow, that's amazing. So actually, you have a baby, 12. That's interesting. So whenever I celebrate Ariel's birthday, I will always remember your birthday, and I hope that you had a great time. Okay, I received my photos from the studio. Yes, they are at it. Next is developing my timeline. I also managed to write a chapter for my book. Henry. Now that is a wow. That is wow. That is what I'm talking about today, really. The power of commitment, the power of seeing things through to the other side. Okay. So many of us have a habit of starting things and just leaving them in the middle, or we procrastinate, or we give up, or because we think no one is pushing us, or because we are not motivated enough, or because we are going through a rough patch. If you are a coach, now I will today. I mean, there is a bit of flexibility. For example, I have booked some counseling clients before, and then I cannot make it to the office. One, maybe it's an emergency, or either my one of my children is not well, or just something happened, whether I got a flat tire while driving to office, and it just can't happen, or there are times I've just run into unanticipated jam or traffic, and all of a sudden it freezes me for like 2 hours in a place I was supposed to drive for 15 minutes or 30 minutes. Then I'm only supposed to, I mean, I can only stretch for 2 hours, and I'm always on phone with my clients even past midnight. If my child gets high fevers in the night and I know that I cannot make it to the 7 a.m. plant, I send them a message at 3 a.m. or at 4 a.m. and tell them that, you know what, I really don't think, I will keep you posted, but I don't think I can make it because I am going to a hospital first before I come to office, and I don't think I can make it at 1. And most of the clients will be like, oh, we understand. Yes, we understand. And I will be like, at least we have to be better communicators. Better communicators. Number one, be a better communicator. We're going to just go through. These are really life lessons and things that we really have to go through. And okay, I think I remember was Catherine. You said, "Hello, coaches. I'm here too. So today I had a financial literacy workshop and did some reading. It was a great day. Wow, that is beautiful. Financial literacy. We should do that sometime. Okay, preparing for interview by researching and meeting a client. Wow, Royhana, you're in the business, my dear. Ever since you came back, you must be just doing a lot of things. But I'm glad that you're preparing for your interview and then you're meeting a client. Make sure that you give it your whole. That interview, let it be an introduction of yourself to the world. Let people leave a mark on people's brains to know that there's a lady that is called Rihanna, and she's an ECD coach, and this she's passionate about what she's doing. Leave that mark on someone there. Challenge someone. When people, the way we touch people's lives is not all the same. And how you touch someone's life is not not just giving them a solution. How you touch someone's life is when they know, they see you can do something for yourself, and they're like, wait a minute, why can't I do the same? Why can't I commit myself? Why can't I start something? I have a passion for children. Why can't I be someone in this world? So we impact people in so many ways. Okay, and then Namudi, you're saying, I read about the 4 steps to discover my $1 million niche. I also watched the video, live changing things. Okay, changing things. Okay, wow, that's beautiful, and I'm so glad you were able to note that down. I hope that we can have our progress sheets. This is a self-paced course, but in as much as it's self-paced, I would really urge us to just go in and do the work, because if you do not do the work, it's just not going to add up. Okay, so I'm glad you watched that video, and I'm glad you actually read the 4 steps, and I hope that you really understood them. And I think I should make more posts about those things, like fully categorized, so that you can clearly see them, how to find and how to do the how to do posts. I'm going to do more of those so that we can know exactly what to do. Wow, you nailed it, Namudu. And then Najuma is saying, hello, coaches, good evening. Nachumbogwe Patricia is saying, I have read a book, Let Go of Whatever Holds You Back by John Mason. And then, oh my God, this author has filled my tank. It's overflowing. I can't wait to offload what I have learned to the world. Wow, Patricia, let me tell you, you are taking in at the right moment. You're going to retrieve this material when it's needed most, and let me tell you, you're going to surprise yourself. I've ever been on sets, maybe it's an interview, a TV interview, a radio interview, or when I'm just doing my presentation, and all of a sudden I say something that I don't know where it came from, and that word is so timely, and people hold on to that word. In on Sunday, we were at Iganga, that is Iganga St. Peter's Church. St. Peter's Church is an Anglican church, but they've really been not really my clients, but my friends for quite a long time. I've been going to their youth retreats, coaching them and, having group sessions with them. So this time they decided to invite me to the church. And oh my, we had a great service. There were 3 services, 6 to 8 and 8 to 10 and 10 to midday. And these services were all filled with people, more than 800 people per service. And at 6 a.m. we met. We drove from town where I stay right now, Mitiana Road, to Iganga. That is, we got there. Should have been around 6:45, and we were just right on for the word. And I was the preacher of the day. Oh, it was amazing. It was amazing. We talked about just being unstoppable and not being defeated. But the reason as I brought that example is when I was preaching and speaking to these people, the people that you would say maybe are overly spiritual and overly, I just broke all those norms. I took the crazy to the pulpit and just gave them the word. And I was amazed at myself. I was like, you know what? I mean, I think I should become a preacher. I mean, I've always been talking about real life. I also talked about real life, but I at least gave them scriptures. And I was like, wow, this is interesting. I didn't know that when you keep pouring into yourself, then you pour into other people, and the world gets amazed at how and what exactly you are doing and how you're doing it. Okay. So that's really, really, really amazing, Patricia. Today, I've been thinking more about our youth group in Uganda, how we can move forward with majority of our members back to school next month. We are thinking something that will be more okay. I think you really need to chew up on that, Faida, and I hope that you really, really can find a way, because I know it was really helping. At least I met Jamie and I met Tris, and we were able. They gave me a sneak peek of what exactly happening. It's so much needed. It just can't die like that, or it just can't go away like that. I know there's so many youths really benefit from this. Okay, so keep up the spirit. Ruth, today I just read a book by John Canified. Yeah, he's really good. The Successful Principles. Okay, now you see the Successful Principles, and I know that most of the things that we keep talking about, that you keep being motivated about, some of those things you stumble upon them in those books, and you just feel, motivated to even be more than you want to be. So, Ruth, kudos. Thank you so much. Kansime Penina, good evening, coaches. I was at work the whole day, but I continued with book reading, John Maxwell's Attitude. So you see, you guys, Kansime Penina, I mean, we are doing great for ourselves. I've been trying out posting without involving my pics, and I have learned something about it. I want you to share, JM Kakembo, I want you to share posting with pictures and posting without pictures. What has worked for you and what have you discovered? Because some of these things we discover along the way as we go on. And we just get to know that, you know what, this I can't do, or this I can do, or this is actually worth it, or this is not worth it, or this brings in more rewards, or this one does not actually bring in more rewards. So you tend to realize what to do and what not to do, and then how to do it best, how to approach it best. Okay, and in case of any question, some of you, in case of any questions, just put them on. But I was talking about flexibility, commitment, and being good communicators. In this business, in this industry, you have to be a very good communicator. And when you talk about being a good communicator, that means that we are talking about stage, we are talking about with one-on-one clients, and then we are talking about your PR angle with the people in your life. Okay, because when we go out there and we post these posts, and we mention, and then we put on our names, or we put on our pictures, or we put on our numbers. So we are inviting people to come to us. Now, when people come to us, that means that we should be in position to keep the same highlight of what drew them to us. That means if we were good communicators on our posts, that means then when we get into it, then we have the good PR angle. How do they book their sessions, and then how do you give them? For example, myself, I have a template, and this template is just it's a graphic. So this graphic has everything. It has how you book the sessions and how much the sessions are and all that. And I did that because I get about 100 people asking for my services per day, and then that means I cannot retype that with a generic inquire about my services. I will send you will get a generic graphic. Now, when you get a generic graphic, that means depending on how you respond, then the conversation goes further. But there are those who will just get the generic poster and just stay at that. And there are those who will say, they will read the rates, and they'll be like, I'll contact you next month, or I'll contact you next week when I'm ready. Because on the poster, it ends saying, would let us know whenever you are ready so we can continue this conversation. So that means I've been able to articulately mention or give you what you really need just in a package, and then you're able to decide where you fall and what you want to do with it. Okay, so being communicators, even good communicators, even when you have been booked for a speaking engagement, even when you have been booked for an interview. I can hear Ariela crying. I don't know why she's crying. So even when you're booked for an interview, or you're booked for a radio interview, you realize that sometimes you will get caught up. Maybe you will set off late, or you'll just get caught up in traffic, or that means your angle, your PR angle, because people see us and then they will read so much by the things that we do. For example, you've come late for an interview, you've reached 15 minutes late, but you did not even give me a prior warning to that I will be 15 minutes late. Now, it's very possible there are times when we just get into a place where there is totally no network and things have blacked out. For example, today I've been out of reach the whole of today. When I just got home, all the messages were popping up. Why? Because I was out of reach. There was no network in Chiwoga where I was. Airtel network was not. So by the time I came back, that is when I started all the PR of, you know what, let me get back to you. I'll call you in the morning. I will do this. I had to schedule a few things. And then I have mommy to take care of. I have kids to tuck in. And clearly, you just had Ariela crying. She's not tucked in bed. I know she's tired, but she was just taking a shower so that she can prepare for bed. So you realize that there are so many things. We're going to get caught up. Maybe it will rain and you will not be able to leave your house until maybe it has come down a bit into just drizzles. So be a very good communicator. When even when you have an interview, for example, the following day, it doesn't hurt to just liaise with the presenter or the producer and tell them that, you know what, hey, I'm coming in at this time, so that you can hear their mind, where their angle, because then you also need to do that. And then it helps for me to get to a place in time and just sit and relax, and or take a tea or take a juice. If I'm going for a speaking engagement, I will always get at any place that I will be speaking at 1 hour earlier. That is the minimum. But most of the times, if I really can do most of my meetings in that place, I'll make sure that I do it. Only that some places are really far off and you just have to travel long distances, like going to Mbarara, to Mbale, to Fort Poto, to Masaka, to, all those things. But be a very good communicator, okay? Keep in touch. It does not hurt. I know some of us don't work well under pressure. I know for sure I don't work well under pressure. So I know I have buffered myself that I have taught myself that, you know what, even when I am under pressure, I will still communicate. Whether you understand me or you don't understand me, I will still communicate. So it will be upon you to choose not to understand. For example, I think it was my producer who told me, last week I was a bit late for my shootings, and then my producer was telling me, but you're never late for anything. I was like, you know what, I had a sick child, and she was like, you know what, I've told literally, I tell everyone that I find that if there's anyone that is so super to work with, it's Bahati. I mean, she would have been saying, you know what, she's either she's big, or she's a celebrity, or she's famous, or we just, she's the head and she's doing everything. But again, you find that people that would have been the ones that are really scratching and really needing this are the ones that are keeping away and not communicating and arriving late. But the one who doesn't seem to actually need it is the one who is arriving on time and helping us set up and do this. Why? It helps to be meek. It helps to be simple. It helps to be yourself, okay? Your personality, without adding on anything. For example, I have a doctorate, but you've not here. There are very few people who call me doctor. So, and whenever I say, when someone calls me Dr. Bahati, I'm like, okay, how do they know me? Because by the time they knew I'm a doctor, then that means they know me more than I know myself. Either I've worked with them in a certain in a certain organization, mostly international organizations. At least most of them know, because some of them have my credentials way before. And so you have, number one, be very meek. Okay. Now we are adding on, be very timekeeping. Timekeeping is very, very crucial. And even when you say, for example, that I am bringing out my book and it's coming out on Sunday, let me tell you, I have been in those scenarios where literally I cannot go to NASA, because when they see me at NASA, definitely they will say, even if, when they'll be like, they will either overcharge you or something. So I have, publishing people who do the work most of the times, if I want copies, if I want what. But most of the times you'll be on phone, you'll be like, guy, I remember the time I first launched my first book. By the time people were seated, and I think we had over 900 people in the room, and all of a sudden, around 700, 900, it was Rooftop Garden City, and the books had not arrived. Arrived when everyone was around. We did the book signing a bit late, and all the copies were sold. Now, but I was like, you know what? I told them this day and this date has to come out. So make sure that you keep your promises. Make sure that you are so committed. Show up when you need to show up. When you need to be flexible, communicate in time. That is very, very, very crucial. I hope these are things that sound so simple, but again, they are very, very crucial. Okay. Hi, coaches. Coach Hilda, is book writing a must in this mentorship course? I'm not good at it. Harriet, it's not a must. If you really want to give it a hand, sometimes we just don't know what to do and we just need guidance. But again, if it's not for you, it's very possible that at this moment you just don't feel it. You can put it aside, okay? But after you put it aside, later on, even if it's after 5 years, and you feel this has come to you and you really want to venture into that, because book writing, number one, let me tell you, it gives you credibility as an authority and as an expert in that area that you're writing. Now, for example, take an example, Bouncing Back by Marjorie Nantambi. You will find that when it splashes around and she gets interviews from all these TV stations, if she does a good work and pushes her work and relentlessly shares her work, and gets people to even share more of her work around the platforms, before you know which she's going to be invited everywhere. Why? Because they think she has put it in their minds that she's an expert when it comes to bounce back in real life. Okay, when you talk about Philson, I Found Me, that is a very massive book. So if you exert yourself as an authority and as an expert, you get a very good endpoint into the world, because then everyone looks at you as a credible person, as an expert, because you wrote something or you authored something. Now, that's just it, okay? But it gives you a soft landing, and then you're able to even increase and grow from there. So if you don't feel it right now, just put it on the side. You can always do it later, okay? Anamudu, your network is not good. I hope that you're able to. And then Sabiti, hi from America. Okay. 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 Okay, handsome Italian. Hi. This is Kakembo. Good to have you. JM, you must be laughing at something. And JM is laughing at the good looking honky. Okay. And then Namudu must be laughing at that Italian handsome guy on a searching spree. Exactly. Henry, someone is looking for beautiful ladies here, and I'm like, seriously, wrong channel, dude. Funny. I know, but this is life, and I mean, we're going to meet all sorts of people, and sometimes they will. I mean, everyone has a target, and just you are going to be bombarded by messages, both in your inboxes, on Facebook, on where, and people are just going to be, and beware, you're going to get most of the people in diaspora, especially if you're ladies, you're going to get so many men coming at you. And most of those men are between the ages of 40 to 50. They will be wanting either a side chick, or they will be wanting a side what. That's why I said, in this industry, if you're single, you have to really be very, very careful. Very, very careful. So guys, do you have any questions? At least I want you to be able to take this from me if you don't take anything else. Timekeeping, being a good communicator, being flexible where you need to be flexible, being committed to the cause, show up no matter what, and make sure that you do what you have promised to do. And then when you promise yourself a good delivery, make sure that you do a good delivery. Most of you have been, I've seen through, you have been reading, you have been researching, you are just feeling your tongues, then just like Patricia said. And I am so honored, because when the time comes for you to speak and you say that, you know what, I was mentored by Bahati, everyone will be like, you know what, we see, not that you will be speaking like me, but at least you will have the enthusiasm and the energy and the level of commitment and the level of timekeeping and the level of, being just honoring yourself and showing up with your full potential. And sometimes people will say, for example, when someone sent, I think it was to Millie, and someone sent her a message that, this is Bahati, I thought you would need to get in touch because you're in that same industry, and not knowing that we are already in the mentorship. So I know that so many people, time is going to come when you speak and someone will be like, wow, she's good. Wow, she knows what she's talking about. Wow. And I'll be here on the sidelines just cheering on you and clapping and screaming my lungs out and saying, you know what, go get them. Go get them, make it happen. And we can make it happen in so many big ways. I know some of us have doubts, and it's okay to doubt, but in this mentorship we say doubt and do it anyway, fear and do it anyway. Okay, today we said we're going to have a short class. Okay, and if we don't have any questions right now, I really wanted us to bring this gist of the real things that we go through. And even when you are researching, I want you to be able to focus on a small amount of research so that you can be able to grasp as much. And then the next time you are trying to retrieve it, make sure that you try and just jog your memory. Because most of the things, even when we don't remember them, they're still in our memory. But when you need it most, it's going to come, and it's going to come handy and save you. Reading is a must. You cannot be a writer without reading. You cannot be a coach without reading. And you just have to fortify yourself. Okay, I told you people are going to ask you questions from all walks of life, so you have to be very prepared. You'll go to places and it's a TV interview, and they will interview you on air, and then on the side they will ask you questions because they also want help. Everywhere you go, there is a person that needs help, and you are the person to actually help them. Okay, we are already getting the wows, and well, thanks to you, blessing to you, Major Coach, blessings to you too. And I just hope that we get the things that we've talked about. Be a promise keeper. The best thing, be a promise keeper. If you promise you're going to show up, show up. If you promise you're going to be smart, be smart. If you promise you're going to wow them, okay, to wow them. And some of these things you can even predict that, yeah, this is going to happen. I just didn't do the video you uploaded yesterday, looked through again and again, but didn't get it. Are you sure? Yesterday I slept off. I really had bad internet. I slept off while it was loading, but I know it was about personality, adding your personality to your content, okay? Because most of us, and I think the things that I talked about, you will go and look it up. But the things that I talked about not forcing it, and then not having too many bloopers, and then having apologizing for everything, bad hair day, and I'm just not feeling fine, and then don't create too many takeouts, and tell emotional stories. Okay, this is, you're also going to find it in public speaking, and then add a variety to your delivery. So there are so many things that so many great things that I talked about, and it was about adding personality. So if you can look out for that. But if I'm going to check on the page again, and if I know I will find it there, because I know it should have been uploaded. So I'm going to check there, and then I will share the link in the group, in the WhatsApp group, so that we can be able to get it. Otherwise, from me to you, allow me this to just wish you a great night, so I can go and tuck my kids. I can hear them in the corridors busy screaming as if it's not yet bedtime. But allow me to just wish you a great night. And those that are going to on radio and on TV tomorrow, kudos. John Desire is going to be on Spirit TV, that is on Thursday, yes. And tomorrow we have Royhana on the Drive 96.6 Spirit FM with DJ Awo Titus, the bad guy. So they're going to have a beautiful conversation. They're going to have no, Royhana is going to be with Bizo, and then Nachimbugwe Patricia is going to be with DJ Titus. So I believe those conversations are really going to be eye-opening. Make sure that you cheer on them, and make sure that you tune in and listen and contribute to what they have to talk about. And for those of you, I think I have about 3 or 2 people that are, well, 2 people from Group A that have not yet done the interviews. I'm lining those up so that we can finish them up this week or early next week before we graduate. But it's such an honor to have you all here, and I love you from the bottom of my heart. Let's keep growing big, and let's keeping our promises and doing the best that we can. Good night.